Patron, take them away.
And a warm welcome to one and all. If it's your first time here, I'm the big fella Scruff. What I'm trying to do is put trading in the real world. Maybe show you a trick or two along the way. So if that sounds good and you do find value, hit the subscribe button and we'll crack on. Well, today's video is very easy. I'm actually in a trade now for oil. I was in it earlier on and I'm really just doing this to back up something that I showed the guys this morning. Now, earlier on, we were in having our morning Zoom call. We have a Zoom call every day, some on a morning, some on a night. And I told them I was trading oil. And I gave them the reasons as to why I was trading oil. Now, I'd already been in it at that point, and then I showed them a trade idea while we were in the Zoom as to what I was going to be doing. And here it is here, playing out. So it's fully marked up. Let me show you kind of a criteria as to where this may come from. When it comes to trading, and I'm going to touch on this at the end of it, I'm going to explain probably why most of you fail and shouldn't be trading. You think that it's not a job. Let me run this trade, and then at the end of it, I'll give you some of my thoughts. Now, I know most of the freeloaders will have dropped off when they're hearing that this is a job and there's going to be some work involved, and there's not just an easy, I'll click a couple of buttons and that's my strategy and my way. It's not that simple. Okay. Let's play this out, and then I'll give you some thoughts on the realities of trading. Okay guys, I've purposely killed that off. It's coming on 12:30ish, something like that, 12:30. So I killed it off, watched it a couple of minutes, and I think it's the right choice. And I'll tell you for why. There is a news announcement coming at 1:30. I've been paid reasonable, so I'm all right with that. And I literally don't want to be caught in a CPI news event that also has high impact data on a market that is a widowmaker. It's called a widowmaker because it can move really quickly. But it's grinding around, so to me it looks like it's a coiled spring. And if it explodes, I don't want to take a gamble with it. Now, today's trade was easy. It was on a zone-to-zone fib retracement, and it did exactly what I wanted it to do. So quite happy. And at the beginning of this video, I said I'd kind of touch on failure and why you fail and stuff like that. And I'm going to show you something that might highlight it. And then I'll be interested in your thoughts down in the comments. So let me just pull something up. Now I put a poll up basically saying, should a trader give away their skills free to a stranger who asks? And 27% said, yes, they should. Now, this week I've closed the doors to the Discord. I did have a free Telegram that got destroyed by morons arguing with themselves and scammers taking my name in vain. So I closed it. But I thought I would keep it in-house and open up Discord and give you a couple of channels. And it didn't really work. So sadly, those doors are closed and it's members only. It's gone back to members only. Because that element that is here looking for a free ride came in. And they had no intention of engaging. They had no intention of putting any work in. They just wanted, give me, give me, give me. So they automatically fail. But that figure answered a question I've been asking myself. You see, I spend all day sort of deleting and blocking people because they are just abusive arseholes, to be quite blunt. And it's normally around 1 in 5. So that ratio actually balances up. But then I did it again and I asked another question. It's exactly the same, but I kind of turned the tables a little bit. And I said, if you're at work, would you give your skill to the employer for nothing? And then would you take a pay cut and spend your own money out of your own bank account on someone who clearly wouldn't do it for you just started? And it's a resounding no. And I think that's why people fail. My gran used to say something, and it's something I've held on to most of my life. Money will see you out. And what she used to mean by that was money shows the true character of somebody. Now, it's very easy to say, give me something free, as long as it's coming your way. But when it goes the other way, there's not many people will give it. Not many at all. So that's probably why you're failing. You expect a free ride. You think the markets are an ATM machine, and they are simple. I've got a wake-up call for you guys. It's not. I'm one of the few YouTubers that'll come on here and tell you to stop trading. I'm also one of the few that swears and screams and bawls and all sorts. But that's because I was old, and everything I do is in the moment, and it's just off the top of my head. I script nothing. So if it's in my head, it comes out my mouth. That's one of my failings. But is it? You know, I don't have the answers for everybody because everybody is different. And you need to put time in to get that skill out. Now, there's certain ways. I set the guys some challenges to see if they can do it. You know, I showed them how to risk profile this week. And risk profile is ring fencing money each day. But it's also ring fencing the amount of trades you take each day. And then see if that marries up to your journal. And I'll guarantee most of them will fail. Because if you plan to do 2 trades, they normally do 5. So where's your planning? You throw it out the window. I'm prepared to lose sort of £200 on my account today, but you'll hang on to a loser and lose 500. So again, where was the planning? There wasn't any. But if you talk to any professional trader, they'll stick to the rules fully. Just a thought. So if you want to step it up to the next level, there are two ways of paying for things. You either pay for it with hard cash, join a community. I wouldn't necessarily say buy a course, because there's plenty of courses that are readily available. Sort of on Baby Pips, you'll find one that's free. Tell you all about the markets and one thing and another. Would you buy a strategy? Sort of. But what you really need is a framework. But I think more importantly is a community where you can talk, because one strategy won't work for some person when it definitely works for somebody else. And the reason being, they are two different individuals. They have different pain points. They have different pleasure points. And they also see the numbers in a different way, you know, because we are individual. We all have interpretations of the market. You can have one trader saying it's going down, you have another one saying it's going up. And that's why it's zero sum, because there's a buyer and seller on each side. So where am I going with all of this? Well, the ultimate thing is you get out of this what you put into it. If you're prepared to put very little to nothing in it and expect a free ride, well, you're a fucking moron. And that's why you're a failure. But if you are looking to put the time in, because time is a currency, understand that the market is ultimately better than you, and you're looking to be fed from the crumbs the big boys leave behind, you'll be all right, because you're willing to invest into this. And remember, you ain't paying anybody but yourself. So you pay somebody to give you an extra skill set. What you've actually done is invested in yourself. And that investment can pay off over time. Always remember something. Something is only worth what you pay for it. If you pay nothing for it, it's worth fuck all. It's that simple. I'll leave you on that one because, well, maybe I'm stepping back. In fact, I think it's time I did. As always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love.